let's invite to the stage Michal, who is head of analytics at 10 Square Games. One of the biggest developers in Central Eastern Europe. He's very experienced in terms of the data, so he will be talking about how to unleash the potential of the data. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Mariusz. Okay, so hey guys, thanks for the invitation. Actually, Mariusz, first time here. So basically today I will just focus on a little bit something else. So I will talk about the analytics and the data, and basically this will not technical stuff, so no worries. I will tell you a bit more how you can work with us, how to work with analysts, how to actually take a little bit more from our from the analytics folks. So let me start. So basically, like a quick intro. I'm working in analytics like more than 11 years already. I've started actually 5 months ago in 10 Square Games. 10 Square Games is one of the biggest actually mobile gaming company in Poland. So we have like about 500 people. So it's really large. And then only last year we had like 50 million actually installs only in last year. And I have like a team like of 20 people right now, which is doing analytics. Before that, I was a part of the OLX group. So basically, it's also like a big market, big classifieds platform across Europe. And I'm quite energetic. I also like very much working with people. So basically, if you want to talk after the speech, I'm open. And I will just focus today on 3 things. There are also like a little bit AI. There was generated by AI, these these things, but anyway, the graphics. So first of all, about the rise of data. So how I believe that the data will be growing, and it's growing still. And the second thing, like why trust matters and why it's connected to the analytics and the data. And this is really important from my perspective. And the third thing, it's a little bit more about the organizational setup. So basically, how you can build this analytics in your organization just to take the most out of the analytics folks. So first of all, let me start from the rise of the data. So we all know that you already probably heard about this, that data is the new oil. I don't know if you ever thought about this, why people are just telling that the data is the new oil. That's from my perspective because of 2 things. So first of all, the data and the oil is not bringing you any value. So you need to change. You need to pump into the systems, into engines, right? And once you will do something with the oil or with the data, then it's giving you value. So that's the third thing. The second thing is changing the world, right? Oil changed the world. Right now, the data is changing the world like we never saw in human history. Right now, ChatGPT is only one example that everyone right just talking about this. I'm excited, but I was excited already before, right? It was. So taking that into account, this is also maybe not super fresh, but still it's up to date. So this is from World Economic Forum. I don't know if you saw that, but by 2025, actually new jobs will emerge. And others will be displaced by a shift in the division labor between humans and machines. But there are like two important things from that. So first of all, you have 85 million jobs that will decrease from the market, and 97 that will increase. So more jobs. But what is even more important here when it comes to data, that you probably, I don't know if you spotted, but top 3 growing are in data. So it is really growing very, very fast. So the data analysts, data science, data engineers, all of these professions, even that are evolving right now, coming to the market, they are really growing very, very fast. So what it all means? It means that this job becomes more important than ever before, and will be growing still. So we need to invest into that. And in 10 Square Games, how we see actually the data analytics, the BI. So basically for us, we expect that the people will be a trusted advisor, the trusted advisor for data-driven insights and decision-making, enabling our organization to make data-informed strategic decisions and drive business growth. But here, there are like one important thing which is bolded here, trusted advisor. But what it means and what is the most important here, it's one word for me, it's trust. and why this trust matters from my perspective, and why I would like to focus on that. And this is kind of a statement even for all of the people that are working with analysts, why this trust is important. So we are expecting lots of stuff from our analysts. We are expecting that they will give us insights. We are expecting that they will give us recommendations, right? We are expecting that they will take ownership, right? And last but not, we are expecting that they will be proactive, right? So will not be reactive, will not wait for the tasks, right? So lots of stuff that we are expecting. But in order to meet these expectations, we need to build certain environment, right? And this environment is super important in order to meet these expectations. So first of all, people will need to feel safe. I'm serious. People need to feel safe in order to give you this recommendation. This will never give you if they will not feel that you trust them. So we need to build this environment. I know that it's super difficult to build this environment because the gaming, it's super dynamic, right? It's changing so fast. The technology is changing, like everything is changing. So there are like lots of dangers. I don't know if you know, like Simon Sinek said a lot about the circle of safety. And the circle of safety, it's super important actually for the analytics, because we are expecting that they will give us recommendations, insights, etc. But they will never give us if they will not feel safe. So we need to somehow build this environment for our own actually goals. That's seriously. And from my perspective, this is important from the analytics view. So they're like a part of the analytics. First kind of a stage, like really in a simple terms, it's the descriptive part of the analytics. What I mean by descriptive, it's like in a nutshell, we are trying to find the answer to this question: what happened? Which is like super simple stuff. And in most cases, analysts doing that. Seriously, not going even further. The next stage is diagnostic. So once we know a little bit more, we are trying to find the answer to question, okay, we know what happened, and the question is, okay, why did it happen? So a little bit more with more impact. The next stage is predictive. So in the predictive, we are trying to find the answer to the question, okay, what will happen? So we know exactly what happened, why it happened. So it's good for us to understand, okay, what will happen. And last but not least, we have a last stage, which is prescriptive. And prescriptive, it's from my perspective, like what to do next. So this is like a pure gold, I would say. So basically, we know already what happened. We know already why it happened and what will happen, and we can say what to do next. Of course, it means more impact, but it also means more effort. And from my experience, many teams, many organizations, it's already a lot of buzz around that, struggle actually to move beyond like descriptive and diagnostic. And I don't know actually, I didn't know actually why it's happening. And I recently found out that it is not connected with these people, that they don't know how to do it, to be proactive, etc. But it's about the process. So they are not in this process of the decision-making process. And is very much connected with what are they doing. So I will just stop you a little bit on that slide. So basically, they're like from the simple terms, 3 steps of this decision-making process. We can be at the end of the process, we can be in the middle of the process, and we can be at the beginning of the process. And this is very much connected with what you can expect from us. Because if we will be at the end of the process, this is already your decision already made, you already did something, so we will always be descriptive, because you will ask, okay, what happened? So this is very much connected with that. If you will invite us to the process, so we will know much more about what are you doing. So if you will know much more about what are you doing, we will be able to understand this. So we will be able to tell you why certain things happened, and probably will be able to help you what you can expect. But if you invite us at the beginning of the process, you might expect from us that we'll need to give you the recommendations, because you will ask us, okay, where to go? What is the directions? And it means that you'll actually push analysts to this in this process to be proactive. They have to be proactive. And in that case, if you will push them here already in the beginning of the process, it's much easier to meet the expectations. So they will need to give you recommendations inside, because you will ask them, okay, where we should go. We are planning something. They will also feel that they are part of the team. So they will take the ownership. They will feel that they are with you in this process. And I will tell you a bit more about the simple examples of analysts that are being or not being involved in this decision-making process. So this first example, pretty simple, right? You run a campaign, right? And the metrics doesn't look good. And you are asking analysts, okay, what happened? Exactly, right? What happened? So they were at the end of the process. So they will be descriptive. They will be reactive. They will be never proactive. But imagine that you'll ask them at the beginning that, okay, what kind of targets should I have for my campaign? It means that you are asking them about these recommendations. So that's one example. Second example, it's about from the product perspective. So you launch a feature recently, and you're asking, okay, what is the performance of the feature? Okay, it's a good question, but it's again, what happened? Imagine that you will ask analysts to let them know that, okay, you are planning some actions, you are planning the roadmap, and you are asking them, okay, where you should go. Give me, I don't know, 3-5 directions where we should go. So that's second example. Third example is about the launching new games. So you launch a new game, and somehow your metrics doesn't look good, and you don't know why. And it sometimes happens that I don't know, metrics are not good, the data is not good, infrastructure, the quality is not okay, and it's because of the fact that you were not prepared from day zero. And you are not prepared because you didn't invite these analysts to this process. Once they will be in this process, it will be much easier for them to let you know, okay, that's how this framework should look like. Even if they don't have a knowledge, we need to actually build that. We need to tell them how to do it. Without that, if you never trust them, they will always be reactive. So I also like this. I know if you know Fisher, this is kind of a famous statistician, quite old. It's a phrase from him that to consult the statistician after an experiment is finished is often merely to ask him to conduct a post-mortem examination. So he can perhaps say what the experiment died of. So it's exactly a descriptive part. And so basically, I'm also like a quite nice metaphor. Maybe you will like it. That how I see the analyst. They're kind of a navigator. So imagine that you're running a car, and when we are running a car, you're a decision-making person. So you're a driver, and you have like technology guys that are working on the engine, right? So they are doing lots of things that everything will be smooth when the speed of light. And we have the analysts, and they are telling you, and they should tell you what is the recommendation. So for example, if you turn right in the 200 meters, something will happen. If you turn left, something other will happen. So that's the recommendations, and we need to be there to navigate through all of these challenges. And one of the example of the kind of a roadmap process to just maximize the power of analytics might, for example, looks like this. That first of all, you have the direction phase. So you're asking analysts about the direction, and you should. It's your choice where you will go, but it's good for you, and it's good also for these analysts to build a little bit more trust about the directions. So ask them like give me like 3-4 directions. Give them a week or two for that. Then have a discussion about the metrics. Like put them into the leader of that. So they should tell you, okay, how these metrics looks like, and you should really focus not only on these features, but also what do you want to go, what do you want to do actually, and when and through what kind of metrics you would like to grow your business. Third place, it's a little bit more on the infrastructure. So everything needs to be in place just to ensure that once you will launch, once everything will be already in your website, everything will be working smoothly. And last but not least, you have a summary and iteration. In 10 Square Games, we are trying to iterate like everything. There is always room for improvement. So everything what we are doing, like just A/B testing is crazy in 10 Square Games. You are doing, I know, hundreds of A/B tests like every year. Like if I would just look at right now, probably it's 20 or 50 A/B tests right now running. So it's really a lot. And we are trying to iterate on every feature that we have. Sometimes it's even better to iterate on the feature that we have it than launching a new feature, because it's sometimes it's even overloaded to the players to have so many features. And when it comes to these metrics, there are lots of frameworks that you can actually use. This is kind of a framework that I like it. This is kind of a North Star. So basically, you have one metric that you are trying to impact, and it's sometimes difficult to do some stuff that will impact exactly through your actions. So you have a second layer. So how do you want to do it? So basically, imagine that you are trying to increase retention. It's difficult to increase retention, of course, like day one, for example. And people might ask you, like analysts, how do you want to do it, right? Okay, you want to do this and that. So it means that these metrics will you should impact. So for example, if you will change the tutorial, you expect that, okay, through better tutorial and some of the metrics that are connected with the tutorial, you will impact the retention. And that's how you are starting to building this kind of a tree, which a little bit help you to structure your thoughts, to structure the process, and to a little bit better understand what is your goal at the end. And I also very like the last layer. So it's kind of a secure, so health metrics. It's very much neglected in most cases. So basically the layer where you're trying to a little bit like spend time to understand what are the metrics that you don't want to lose. So it might be a churn, it might be some monetization metrics, depend on what are you doing. So it might be the case that you want to move some engagement metrics, but you don't want to lose monetization. Or you are just squeezing the lemon right now and putting a lot of pressure to your user, and you don't want to lose churn. So it might be a threshold on the churn. So this is this kind of a metrics. And I also recommend you to work with that. So it's not like written in stone. So you should change like in a month, in the 3 months, depends on your feature, depends on the stream, depends on your product. So it's not good from my perspective to have this written in stone and just to have this for 1 year. Maybe it's good for a different industry, but not for gaming probably, because it's very volatile and very dynamic. And also like the iteration process is super important. This is like a very, very simple. So we have a planning, testing, and next steps. So basically when it comes to everything what we are doing, we need to like sit together and plan exactly what do we want to do. Like the product people, the analysts, like everyone in the same room, just to discuss, okay, we will do this and that, and we will impact these metrics. We'll try to check this hypothesis, and then we are launching the A/B test. Once we launch, we need to, of course, wait, etc. And we are again preparing for the summary and the next step. Iterate, iterate, and iterate. Just don't forget about this, because there is always potential in your features and everything what we are doing. Also, when it comes to product development, we are trying to build this feature in a way that will be customized. So it's not only A/B test, like, okay, works or not works, but with different customization, different parameters. It's very important to start doing that already in the beginning in the process. That's why we have also analysts in the process. They will tell you that it's needed. But it's everything actually connected with this trust. So it's super important, because without that, we will not be able to move on. And this trust is also connected from with the Center of Excellence. So this is the last topic that I would like to tell you. So I really believe that the Center of Excellence actually, it makes sense when it comes to building the analytical capabilities. Also, I don't know if you know Gartner. It's a very big research company. So they said that by 2024, 75% of organizations will have established a centralized data and analytics center of excellence to support federated DNA initiatives and prevent enterprise failure. So basically, everyone just talking about this, how to run this, how to scale this, and there are like many ideas how we can do it. This is more or less how we are doing actually right now. So we have people sitting in one place, but they are embedded in the product or marketing. They are really embedded. So if we have like several games, we have analysts that are sitting with product together. They are embedded in these teams, maybe remotely or not remotely. It doesn't. I don't care. But they are talking to them. They are part of these teams. They are shared goals, working on the roadmap, all of this stuff together. The same with marketing. So we don't have data analysts who is not part of the growth or UA. They are part of these teams, but they are also a part of the analytics. So it means sometimes it's different between companies. Sometimes it's a straight line in the analytics. Sometimes it's a dotted line. I prefer a straight line sometimes because it's less biases, to be honest, from my perspective. But all these, organizational setups actually works and have some benefits. But it's very important from my perspective, to have someone who will oversee the whole analytics. And basically, also from what I see when it comes to expectations from this, from the Center of Excellence, it's more on the how side rather than what. I will explain you right now. So exactly what we'll be doing. And this 80%, it's more driven by the stakeholders. So what I said actually a couple of seconds ago, that people are embedded in the product or embedded in the marketing team. So they shared goals with them. So they are not doing different stuff than it's going right now on the roadmap perspective on the marketing side. There's like 20% layer, so for their own sake, I would say, but differently when it comes to how they are doing. So it's up to them to use good tools, up to them to use good technology, up to them to do the stuff the way how they believe it's worth it. I also have this 20% on the stakeholders. Why? It's like a perfect match. I can tell you like one story. Like 2 years ago, I recruited the guy in the different company, and I give him a green light. Actually, he was perfect, and I actually invite him to the last stage. Last stage, from my perspective, is always with the stakeholder, and stakeholder said no, actually. So I invited him to a different stakeholder, and different stakeholder said yes, it's a perfect match. So I'm telling you that sometimes, right, we need to have a person that will really communicate like very cool. But what was interesting, that the guy was brilliant. Like he was the best analyst out of 20 people that I recruited. So the stakeholder was a little bit jealous that he said no, but that's why we have a lot of people, and we need to always find this match. So there's like a 20% to have this perfect match. I also like the phrase like a power couple, because people need to work together. So this is like 1 + 1 = 3, a little bit like that. But also when it comes to the Center of Excellence, how to actually make the most out of this idea. So first of all, this will help you much more when it comes to efficiency. So you can streamline processes, reduce redundancy, also standardized way of working, promoting best practices. It's much easier if you have this team together. The next thing is expertise. So you are building really an expertise of the people within the analytics. The third thing, which I also very like, which is collaboration. So without this Center of Excellence, it's very difficult to build this collaboration. I still remember the times when I started the job in analytics in retail, and we were everywhere. I was in marketing, the guy was in sales, and we never talked to each other. We had to be like super proactive to talk to each other. And it was like a madness, seriously. So it's much easier to also collaborate, do all of the knowledge sharing stuff, also be up to date with the technology, because technology right now is changing very fast, and you don't want to use different technology between the analytical teams in your company. It doesn't make any sense. And last but not least, the thing that is also growing very fast, so all the things around the data quality, data governance. So it's also much easier to do it once you have the centralized data structure and data capabilities. So data quality, GDPR, all these things across the organization. But as I said, like everything started and finished with this trust. So yeah, thank you. That's all from my side.